we're finally done with the mesh planet. We have a reasonable proceduralized noise formula for generating the height data for the planet. And so today I've just been kind of monkeying around with getting a uh, moisture map and temperature gradient in place. I've had a little bit of success with that. So right now I'm working on temperature gradient. We're going to go ahead and try to introduce some fall off here. So the first thing we got to do, we'll call this, is develop a gradient that's white near the equator and fades to black near the poles, because we want our temperature to decrease as we get closer to the poles. So we'll just call this like temperature latitude fall off. So what that involves is isolating the z-axis distance from the center, dividing it by the actual object radius, flipping it, raising it to a power so that we get some level or degree of fall off here. We'll try 4. And let's check this on our planet itself and see if it's doing what we want it to do. Seems like it. Now, obviously, this isn't good enough because it's very clearly a static line around the center. So what we'll then do is modify it with a noise node here. So let's see. We don't need this one. We want to copy this, put it here, run the divisor back up to the mesh radius up here. Maybe like 0.1 for this. And then let's multiply this by this. Plug that in instead. Okay. Temperatures, the noise formula here is too big. Let's go up to 0.4 maybe. There we go. Now we have some variance. And now that we're doing that, we can probably reduce this a smidge. Alright, and how many octaves are we at with this noise? It seems like it needs some more. Let's do max. We shouldn't need too many noise formulas in our material since most of our noise work is happening on the planet elevation. I think we're only going to need 2. But here we go. So we got a nice little gradient here representing changes in temperature. And then the other one I just did is a similar concept, except we're using elevation for moisture. So let's take a look at this. This is the moisture map that I was working on. And you can see we have denser moisture around the coastlines. In the higher elevation, we get less moisture. Okay, so now we have these, temperature and moisture. We're going to need another gradient. Right, gradient 1. Temperature will instead... Alright, let's grab these. So instead of just statically defining temperature here, we're going to take the output of this. We're going to need a second gradient. Let's use tropical for this one. And let's use... Oh, I need to rename this. Oops. And let's use Terra for the other one, just for now. So we sample both these with the same value. And then I think the way we do it, okay, hue shift, we're going to want to run a hue shift for both. Hue to here, hue to here. Okay, great. And then I think the way we use the moisture map, so let's say this is more moist, this is less moist. We would do lerp here and here. And our alpha for the lerp is the moisture map, I think. And then we'll just plug that in. And let's take a look. It's definitely doing things. Let's try changing it to have a little bit more contrast between these because they're very similar. So let's try this one as our desert asset. That doesn't seem right. All right, I think we need more variance. Okay, so just looking at this, it seems like the temperature values are too low in general. So we can probably multiply that output. And okay, so let's try that. We'll go to here. Let's take our temperature output here. Try decreasing this real quick. Okay, now we've got some variance. And I do think we're going to need to multiply that value. Clamp it. Give that a shot. All right, great. Now we're getting some ice near the poles, but not on the continents. On the We have a nice band here in the middle. So now we need greater variance. What happens if I just switch these two outputs? Um, Excuse me? What? Okay, let's try grabbing this guy and applying our default material to it. Ah, that's why we weren't seeing the variance that we were looking for because we were on the wrong material, or the it was being proceduralized, but we don't want it to do that yet. We want to work out the formula here first. All right, so I think our moisture map is going to need power here. Let's just name things simply here. I mean, we'll go back through once we're completely done with this material and button everything up. Save it up. Let's give that a shot. We want to see stronger variance in color. It is sort of working. Like you can see some green coming in here and brown over here. That is what we're after. We should probably make some new gradients. We've got a hole there. We're going to have to investigate that as well. Okay. Let's just take a look at our moisture map again here. We don't need this. It should be functionally equivalent. What if I did a subtract? Something like this, maybe? Sort of. These are now flipped the wrong way. Let's do this and this. Save it up. I think one of them probably. Oh, God, what is going on with that? Whoa? What the hell? Do the same thing we did up there. Interesting. Okay, that's a little bit more like it. I mean, it's not too bad. There's definitely work to be done here, but I'm thinking we should probably do a little bit of texture work here. Make some simple gradients to be used here, because what we're basically want is like a foliage gradient and a land gradient, with both with their own temperature ranges. Daddy, don't go off, please. He's sitting here grumbling. Let's try. Make the temperature higher as well. That's pretty cool, actually. Shit. I'm actually gonna need to do some stuff. Well, this would just be like a quick session here. I wasn't thinking, but I have a meeting coming up at work that I did not realize I had, so I'm gonna have to bail. But we got sort of some biome stuff going on. I'm interested also in like PCG based on the underlying color of the vertex that we want to generate an object on, like using different colors for different things, right? So I am interested in that. It's certainly a good little first draft at having multiple biomes. It's cool because now we can really play with this planet generator because I'm done with all the mesh generation stuff. Well, maybe not completely done, but like done enough to where I can start working on materials and such. All right, I'm going to leave it here. This is a little bit of progress. It still needs work, obviously, but and maybe I'll do some more of this tonight. Later.